The neon sign of Harper's Diner flickered faintly against the snow-laden windows of a remote Kansas town on a biting Saturday night in 2025. The diner's warm golden glow spilling onto Main Street, where locals gathered for their cherished weekly tradition. The air heavy with the rich scent of cinnamon apple pie fresh from the oven and the deep, comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Red vinyl booths alive with the laughter of men in weathered flannel coats and women in hand-knitted scarves, their voices blending with the soft twang of a jukebox playing a nostalgic country ballad. A tight-knit community where every face carried a tale of resilience, until the door groaned open with a rush of icy wind, ushering in an old man whose arrival stilled the room. His name was Raymond Ray Hargrove, a frail 79-year-old with a face etched by decades of harsh Kansas plains, his silver hair spilling from beneath a faded John Deere cap, his patched denim jacket sagging over a threadbare flannel shirt, his boots caked with mud and snow from a grueling day spent repairing a neighbor's stalled tractor in a freezing barn. And in his calloused, trembling hand, he clutched a worn leather wallet, its surface cracked and edges frayed from a lifetime of labor. The diner's eyes tracking his every slow step, their smiles fading into a wave of murmurs. A lanky teenager in a Letterman jacket leaned toward his buddy, whispering, "What's this old guy doing here?" Thought this was a decent joint, while a stout farmer at the counter, sipping his coffee, grumbled, "Security's letting bums stroll in now?" Ray shuffled toward a secluded booth near the back, his joints creaking from 2 sleepless nights hunched over machinery, driven by a solemn promise to attend his granddaughter's spelling bee at the local elementary school the next afternoon. His clothes a silent testament to his sweat-soaked dedication rather than a sign of poverty, though to the patrons he was an unwelcome shadow disrupting their cozy night. Prompting the diner's manager, a broad-shouldered 34-year-old named Keith, to stride forward, his apron crisp over a neatly pressed shirt, his voice slicing through the quiet. "Sir, we've got a dress code here. I'm afraid you'll have to leave." The room falling into a tense hush as all eyes turned to Ray, who lifted his weary gray eyes and said in a raspy but steady tone, "Just a cup of coffee, son. I've got the cash," sliding a few crumpled bills onto the table, only for Keith to scoff, his lip curling with disdain. "Money doesn't change the dress code. Out, please," the teenager chuckling, others joining in with a chorus of laughter that reverberated off the diner's wood-paneled walls. Ray's shoulders slumping as he rose without a word, gathering his wallet and heading for the door, the winter chill slashing at his face as he stepped into the night. Reaching his rusted Chevy pickup parked under a flickering streetlight, where a local deputy, Matt Larson, approached with a flashlight beam cutting through the dark, his breath puffing in the cold, saying, "Hey, old man, this ain't a warming house. Move along. Main Street's for residents." Ray pausing to pull out a faded ID, the name still legible beneath the wear. Raymond Hargrove, retired Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Air Force, Medal of Honor, lead designer of the F-22 Raptor. His voice calm but firm as he instructed, "Show this to your sheriff and ask if I've got a place here." Matt's eyes widening in disbelief as he radioed for assistance, and within minutes the diner's peaceful hum erupted into chaos, sirens wailing as police cars and a black SUV with government plates sped up. The town's sheriff, a sturdy man named Joe Bennett, rushing out to salute Ray with a trembling hand. "Lieutenant Colonel Hargrove, sir. We didn't recognize you. We're deeply sorry." The diner locking down, patrons pressing their faces against the frosted glass in stunned silence, Keith's face draining of color as the gravity of his error sank in. Media vans arriving with cameras flashing and reporters shouting questions. The burning question on everyone's mind: who was this veteran cast out like a stranger in his own town? The air grew thick with a new tension, panic and remorse, as the diners who jeered now stood frozen, their phones raised to capture the unfolding drama. Keith stammering, "Sir, is that ID for real?" Ray nodding slowly. "Check your database, kid. Look up the name," the sheriff confirming it with a gasp. "Raymond Hargrove, Chief Aerospace Engineer, Medal of Honor, F-22 Raptor Pioneer." Keith staggering back, Joe barking, "Get him his coffee now," as he escorted Ray back inside with a flood of apologies. The reversal swift and humbling, diners lowering their gazes, shame etching into their features. A local news crew swooping in to interview Ray about his journey from a dusty Kansas farm to enlisting at 21, designing jets that redefined air combat, and raising a family alone after his wife's long illness. "I'm here for my granddaughter's bee, not a hero's welcome," he said, his voice breaking slightly, the story igniting a firestorm on X with hashtags like "Hakidun honor our heroes" and "Sorry Ray." Morning headlines blaring, "Vagrant booted from diner revealed as war hero." The nation erupting with millions of posts, YouTube videos analyzing every moment, racking up views. Congress convening to demand, "Is this how we treat our veterans?" The president tweeting at 8:26 p.m. +8 on Monday, August 4th, 2025. "I'll meet Lieutenant Colonel Hargrove. His service is unmatched. This is unacceptable." Pressure mounting on officials. The diner chain issuing a public apology and suspending Keith, rolling out sensitivity training across all locations. But the real transformation began weeks later when Ray was invited to the White House. Arriving in his same patch jacket, a red carpet unfurled before him, the president stepping forward to embrace him. "Today we honor an American who forged our skies and taught us strength and humility." Ray taking the podium with a slight tremble, his voice growing resolute. "I'm not here for accolades, but for change. Every vet or elder judged by their clothes, not their heart, represents millions overlooked by the system, and that needs to stop." Applause thundering across the nation, the sound echoing from living rooms to small-town diners. Harper's Diner unveiling a sign that night, "Every face is a legacy," inspired by Lieutenant Colonel Hargrove, leaving a profound lesson that lingered in the air. The greatest heroes often wear the humblest threads. Will you look beyond the surface next time?